Christopher Columbus was an Italian explorer who embarked on a historic journey in 1492, seeking a westward route to Asia in order to establish a trade route. However, he ended up making a significant discovery. In the late 15th century, there was a growing interest in finding a direct sea route to Asia for trade purposes. Columbus, with his proposal to reach Asia by sailing west, sought support from European monarchs. After facing initial rejections, Columbus gained the support of Queen Isabella I of Castile and King Ferdinand I of Aragon of Spain. They provided him with 3 ships. The Santa Maria, the Painter, and the set sail from Palos de la Frontera, Spain, on August 3, 14. Columbus's planned route took him westward across the Atlantic Ocean. He believed the journey would be relatively short, expecting to reach Asia in a few weeks. On October 12, 1492, after about 2 months at sea, Columbus and his crew sighted land. They had reached an island in the present-day Bahamas, which Columbus believed to be part of Asia. Columbus explored various islands in the Caribbean, including Cuba and Hispaniola, present-day Haiti, and the Dominican Republic. He continued to believe he had reached Asia. Columbus returned to Spain in 1493, believing he had successfully reached Asia. He made additional voyages in 1493, 1498, and 1502, exploring more of the Caribbean and parts of Central and South America. Columbus's voyages had a profound impact on world history, marking the beginning of sustained contact between the Old World and the New World. His journeys opened the way for the widespread European exploration and colonization of the Americas. It's important to note that while Columbus is often credited with discovering America, indigenous peoples had been living in the Americas for thousands of years before his arrival. The impact of Columbus's voyages on the indigenous populations was significant and had lasting consequences, including cultural exchanges, the Columbian exchange of plants, animals, and diseases, and the eventual colonization of the Americas by European powers. Christopher Columbus secured sponsorship for his historic journey from Queen Isabella I of Castile and King Ferdinand I of Aragon of Spain. After several rejections from other European monarchs, Columbus presented his proposal to the Spanish monarchs in 1486. His plan was to reach the lucrative markets of Asia by sailing westward, an idea that was met with skepticism by many experts of the time. Columbus had a persistent belief in the feasibility of his plan and the potential for great riches. He argued that by sailing west, he could reach Asia more quickly than the traditional eastward route, which involved traveling around Africa. After a prolonged negotiation process, Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand agreed to sponsor Columbus's expedition, providing him with the necessary ships and. In April 1492, Columbus signed the Capitulations of Santa Fe, a document outlining the terms and conditions of his sponsorship. The agreement granted Columbus the titles of Admiral of the Ocean Sea, Viceroy, and Governor of the lands he might discover. Additionally, he was entitled to a percentage of the profits from the expedition. The 3 ships provided for the journey were the Santa Maria, the Pinta, and the Nina. The expedition set sail from Palos de la Frontera, Spain, on August 3, 1492. The sponsorship of Columbus's journey by Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand played a crucial role in the eventual discovery of the Americas, marking the beginning of a new era of exploration and colonization. The departure marked the beginning of Columbus's ambitious attempt to find a westward route to Asia, with the primary goal of establishing a direct trade route. Columbus, along with a crew of about 90 men, embarked on this journey, not fully aware of the vast expanse of the Atlantic Ocean that lay ahead. The departure from Palos de la Frontera was a significant moment in history, as it initiated a series of events that would eventually lead to Columbus's arrival in the Americas. The voyage had a profound impact on world history, reshaping global trade routes and establishing sustained contact between the Old World and the New. The arrival of Europeans in the Americas had devastating consequences for indigenous populations. The introduction of new diseases, exploitation, enslavement, and violence led to a significant decline in native populations. Columbus's voyages contributed to the broader process of European colonization, which often involved the exploitation and subjugation of indigenous peoples. This colonization had long-lasting effects on the social, cultural, and economic. Columbus's legacy has been the subject of ongoing debate and criticism. Many modern perspectives highlight the negative aspects of his expeditions, including the mistreatment of indigenous peoples and the lasting impact of European colonization. Columbus's belief that he had reached Asia and the subsequent misnaming of Native Americans as Indians contributed to misunderstandings and perpetuated myths about the geography of the Americas. Columbus's voyages are historically significant as they mark the beginning of sustained contact between the Eastern and Western hemispheres, reshaping the course of world history. Columbus's journeys contributed to the globalization of trade routes connecting Europe, Africa, and the Americas. This laid the groundwork for a global economy and increased cultural exchange. The encounter between Europe and the Americas initiated the Columbian Exchange, a significant exchange of plants, animals, and cultures that had a profound impact on both sides of the Atlantic. It introduced new crops, animals, and technologies to the Americas and, in return, brought European goods and innovations to the Old World. Columbus's voyages opened a door to the exploration and subsequent colonization of the Americas by European powers. This led to the exchange of goods, ideas, and cultures between the Old World and the New World. Christopher Columbus's legacy is complex and multifaceted, with both positive